Big Z Reviews. Avatar, The Way of Water, is the newest out of who knows how many planned Avatar sequels. And it just came out this past week for the holiday season. And I really enjoyed it. You know, I was a fan of the first one, and I'm a fan of this one. It's a really fun, epic film.
Why do you come to us? I just want to keep my family safe. Treat them as our brothers and sisters. Teach them our ways.
So, this is once again directed by James Cameron and has a whole returning cast, mostly as blue aliens, especially, Sam Worthington as Jake Sully, and Zoe Saldana as Neytiri, and Sigourney Weaver as this time her child, Kiri. And even Stephen Lang makes an appearance back in a clone avatar body that they sent all his memories away right before their fatal clash in the first film. And, it's funny, this is like, I'm not sure if it's even might be longer than the first film or around the same length, but this one almost feels a little more personal, like the story is a little smaller. It's also a little bit more unique than the first one. That's one thing, I actually, when they re-released Avatar, I went to see it in IMAX 3D, and it was amazing. And it's funny, I tried to see this one in IMAX 3D. I went to the nearest theater to me. It's like a little less than 2 hours away in Dixon City, Pennsylvania. And it's, right outside of Scranton. And I went there out, so I was doing shopping beforehand. But then I go in, and they're like, the IMAX projector just died. So yeah, and I'm like, I drove 2 hours to see it here. Like, well, we can give you a ticket to see it in regular 3D. And I was like, I just left. And so instead, I saw it non-3D at home, my home theater. And it was, thankfully, it was in my theater's best screen 12. And it's funny, screen 1, I think, might be slightly bigger than screen 12 at my theater. But, like, the screen 1 has, like, a little bit of doubling of the image. Like, and so, like, not a lot, but a little, it's not perfect. So I also had the theater to myself, just because of the time I went, and also just because there's an Avatar every half hour or whatever, because nothing else is out right now, really. But, I still had a great experience. I still really loved it. And I mean, the graphics are amazing. Like, it looks like they found this alien race and they filmed them. That's how good it looks. Like, I never once, like, lost immersion in the film. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. And especially you can really see James Cameron, the love of the ocean, of water in this one. And especially like at a certain point, they join like a new water tribe, and like you see all like the alien whales and different like things, and it's gorgeous. I will say though that like the beginning drags a little, but they have to catch the viewer up to the story, because like, okay, they banged a bunch of times. They had 3 kids, and they adopted 1 kid with Sigourney Weaver was somehow pregnant with him, possibly like the Virgin Mary, or we don't know yet, or she banged when she was in Avatar form, the other scientists. But like, there's a lot to go on. Then you have to Stephen Lang as Quaritch, coming back in his Avatar body and trying to figure out what happened before, and the idea that yes, it seemed like they won in the first one, but actually, of course, they didn't win, because now it's a little more interesting though, because there's implications that Earth is dying, and they see the the Avatar world as a very like interesting possibility to colonize, as Earth maybe not be able to be inhabitable. So like that's interesting, but at the same time, like I feel like like they're kind of being terrorists, and then that's fine, but it's like they wanted to. The film was waiting for them to get to the Water Tribe, and like how they got to it, it was just kind of like, hey, we can't be with the Forest Tribe where we know and love everyone because they're gonna be looking for us and they're gonna kill all of our friends. So we need to go to this Water Tribe so that they can find us and kill all of the Water Tribe people, which we don't know now, but we will possibly become friends with, you know. But like I feel like Cameron wanted to get to this water thing, and then he didn't know exactly how to get to it. But once he got there, it's really interesting because you have like some of the best parts of the first film was as a viewer and as Jake Sully almost as our avatar, we got to experience this gorgeous alien forest and this gorgeous alien woman, giant woman that we fall in love with. That we got to see this sense of exploration and adventure. And you get to see that here, but with the Water Tribe. Like everybody, like you haven't been there, you get that same sort of newness. But I think that it's one of the most disappointing things about this is that Jake Sully is kind of an asshole to his kids. Like for the whole film, he's kind of just hammering on them, and the kids try to be good, but like they're like he's treating them like soldiers, and it didn't made me not like him, and it's just odd but at the same time, it became the second kid, the second son is kind of like he is a bit of a rebel and they always get in trouble, and he is kind of your main character in this film because he is feeling like an outcast, especially because even if they were regular Na'vi, like the Water Tribe has different evolution to be to swim better, but then they also have 5 fingers because they're human Na'vi hybrids. So, but then like he feels even more like I feel like the reason Sam Worthington is such an asshole to the kids was because James Cameron wanted this the second son to be more of an outcast, and it's like okay, but I hate that you're kind of messing with his character, but the idea is he wants to go out on his own and he meets this rogue alien whale, which was like it's really interesting. All the stuff with the whales are really interesting because there's like a symbiotic relationship between the water Na'vi and these whales, and that like they're much more intelligent than Na'vis and humans. But like long ago, they used to fight and attack each other and kill each other. They decided to become completely peaceful and to not kill anyone no matter what. But this one rogue whale was witnessed his whole pod be murdered and all of his friends and families be killed by the humans that are hunting the whales. And this is where the unobtainium sort of thing comes in. The gimmick for what they need. Like it's first of all, it's unobtainable. I guess they don't really care about unobtainment anymore. I guess it was obtainable. But now what they want is this brain goo that you can get from these whales that completely halts aging in humans. And so it's like that's a gimmick that they're fighting over. But like I love some beautiful stuff with him like bonding with this whale, and again and there's some great stuff, but there's also some horrifying stuff because Stephen Lang like to draw out Jake and his family. He decides to go hunting the whales right in their territory, so that like and that's definitely where you can see James Cameron has an agenda, and it's that the whaling and especially with sharks with shark fin soup. There's a moment where like when they got the spider, this is one human that hangs out with all the Na'vi and is kidnapped, and he's like, you just throw the rest of it away. It's really clearly making a connection between like shark fin soup and how all they do, they just hack the fins off sharks and then throw the dead bodies back into the water, and that like how horrible it is. There's definitely some of that And I wonder, I'm not sure if this is able to play in China right now. It's interesting. China, this since the pandemic, has really limited what American movies can show in China. And I feel like they may not like the implications in this about sea life and destroying it. For I know this for disgusting for like a soup. I almost want. This really interesting like documentary that Gordon Ramsay did about shark fin soup, but how like the actual soup is kind of delicious and really creamy and fatty, but the actual shark fin is just a gelatinous cartilage that's been boiled for hours, and like you throw anything else in there and it would taste better, But like they think that it's make you more virile, make you, make there's all these random things that for some reason they believe it'll help them, do. But it definitely it's interesting. But I think the third act of this film is insane, and it's powerful. It is like a huge battle in the ocean. It's really cool, but at the same time, I couldn't help but think that there's parts of it where Jake's kids are constantly getting captured, especially the girls. They're constantly getting captured, and it's like I hate the one thing about script writing that I hate is when like the script writer realizes that something is getting repetitive and kind of stupid, so they make a character comment about it. So like the little girl is like, "Man, I can't believe I was caught again." And it's like, yeah, I can't believe that, But of course, like they have to set up the climax, and you can definitely see James Cameron, Titanic, fetishist sort of stuff. That way, it's awesome, and it's an amazing film. It's long, but it doesn't really feel its length. I look forward to seeing it again. Like after Christmas and the holidays, I might try to go travel to see it in IMAX again, but I'm not sure if the one I normally go to, like I'm not sure if they'll be able to fix the projector or not, or when they'll be able to fix it. I might have to go somewhere else. We'll see. I'd probably give this film like a 9 out of 10. Like I really enjoyed it. But thanks for watching. If you want to see more of me, you can subscribe down below. Thanks.